Okay, Chris and Tom, here's your video analysis of Wednesday. I did a side-by-side comparison to show you some key differences that you're making that are really going to enhance your production as a pitcher. And I can see it already, and I think you're going to be pretty excited about some of this because you're learning quickly and you're going to be able to really transfer this into more ball speed and just an overall better pitcher with better control and more power. So let's take you from the top of your leg lift. I'm sync you up. The top video is the earlier one we did, and the bottom video, the bottom footage is the last video that we took where you really implemented more leg drive. And just to show you how much leg drive changes everything. When you work the back leg correctly, everything else really seems to fall into place. You get better trunk flexion at the end, you get a better stride, a better front leg, and eventually a better load in the arm for that arm to really sling forward and catapult. So at your leg lift, the bottom video here, notice you're a little bit more rotated. Oops, you're a little bit more counter rotated. That's fine. It doesn't really do too much to you at this point. So just take a look at your descend here. I'm going to draw the line up from the rubber on both, and oops, well that one's not as accurate. Let's do that one again. In the bottom video, you're definitely further off the rubber, like your body's more to the inside than you are here. But let's take a look at, let's just get you down to handbrake, which is about right where your hand is behind your leg. Let's do the same thing here, where your hand's behind your leg. Okay, we take a look at a couple things. We see a vertical force vector there, and we see more of a linear force vector here, which is going to be good for you to move the hips out in the whole body. So you'll see how that improved a lot just in that one throw. So here we are. Watch how your knee does not really seem to move too far off that line as your front leg brings you out. So your front leg is really initiating momentum where we want the back leg to do that. That's where all the high velocity pitchers, we correlate that with high velocity. But in your bottom video, a much different story. Look at how your knee really gets off that line and it moves in line with your hip. So as we move you further out here to where the front knee takes over the hip, a couple things we want to notice. How far did you come off the rubber? Number one. And let's get you out here with this leg, the stands. How far did you get off? Much further. See that? So you're moving the mass of the body. The whole mass here is just moving out so much faster, which is going to really translate into much better ball speed and arm speed. So good job with that. So as we continue, let's take a look at the top video here, the early one. Look at your front, the back knee here. Watch how it tends to sink. It never really fully extends, so you don't really finish back leg drive. It just kind of drops and collapses and turns over. No extension whatsoever. And then you just drop the front foot. Okay? And in the bottom video, take a look at the back knee. I think you're going to see a big difference here. Oh, let's do that again. It's too small. Back knee is going to not collapse. It's going to extend and turn, which pushes your front leg out, extends your stride, and provides a lot more power into that front leg to really spin those hips a lot quicker. So you do get a little bit of hip and shoulder separation on this pitch, and you don't get it on the pitch up here. So again, good development, good improvement. So at this point here, I would like to show you a big difference in time it takes you to get from as soon as your leg starts to descend right there, we'll start it, and as soon as your leg starts to descend right here, we'll start it. Let's get the clock out. I'll show you the time difference. All right. How long does it take you to get to front foot strike? About 70. Let's do it here, 70, 71. Oh, wait a minute. I think I started you too high. Let's clear this one. Let's do it again. Where does your front leg come down? Where does that front leg start to come down? Right about there. right about there. All right, we start the clock. And look at that, you land at 57, 56 to 71, 55, 50, 56, what was it, 56 to 72. Big difference in time there, right? So you're exploding quicker, you're getting out to your front foot a lot faster. So we're going to see some quicker trunk rotation out of that. We're going to see more flexion from that. And we're going to see the arm get loaded better because of that. So all because the back leg is doing a much better job, everything else is going to fall into place. The speed, the power, converting all that energy up through that kinetic chain. Now let's take a look at the front leg. Look at how much more linear it is than this. And let's see how long it takes that knee to brace up. All right, right there it braces up. Look at how much quicker that braced up. If I actually put a clock on that, let's see how long it takes. So if I'm going to land right there, let's see how long it takes for that leg to go. Yeah, about 7/100ths of a second to get that leg braced up. It takes this leg, about 4/100ths of a second. That's real good. Much, much better. So that's going to transfer forces up, and it's going to really throw that trunk. Let's take a look at trunk flexion. All right, at ball release, well, how about at external rotation? That's really where we measure trunk flexion. How far away is it from the knee? In this video here, it's kind of far. Let's get you out here into external rotation. Yeah, you're much closer to your much closer to your knee in the bottom video. Take you out into ball release. Trunk flex over. How much did it get over that knee? Not too far. How much did it get over that knee? Much farther. So what a big difference in trunk flexion and trunk speed. So that's going to be more velocity. So if I were to have a gun on you on this video down here, you would probably be throwing a few miles per hour faster because of the body moving so much better and more efficiently and effectively. All right, so if we take you back, let's take a look at your stride length. How does your stride length compare? All right, real quick. Let's see here. Looks like you're definitely a little bit further. Obviously, you would be with the back leg extending like that. Let's take a look one more thing here at rotation. If the back leg does what it's supposed to do and you're stronger on the back leg, it usually gives you much better leverage with hip to shoulder separation, and it helps you to not rotate as soon because you're moving laterally and horizontally and more linear longer, so the rotational aspects don't really kick in until you're done with that. So at front foot plant, or just as we're getting into front foot plant here at the bottom video, I can still see your shoulder right about there. Let's take a look here at this video. Front foot plant. What I do notice is that the elbow here is higher than this one. So your elbow has tucked in a little bit more, which means you're rotating too soon here. You're rotating later here. The later you rotate, the more time you give that arm to take the load. So your arm is getting that load later, and it's actually getting into external rotation a lot quicker. I mean, look at this. Look at where the ball is in relation to your head here as it is to here. Look at the distance here. And look at the distance here. Much, much better. So your arm's going to externally rotate into full external rotation, boom, very quickly right there, as opposed to this, which is a much longer arm path, and it gets into external rotation much, much later. So if we were to clock this, let's be real scientific here about this. Let's see how long it takes that arm to get into external rotation. 0.9 seconds, 900ths of a second, 800ths of a second. What about this one? 700ths, about maybe about 600ths of a second. That's a big difference. Big difference in ball speed. So congratulations there. Hopefully you can continue to improve and get even better and stronger and faster at this. Great development there. I hope you can see the differences already. Okay? See you soon.